One of the major discussions in this week's Torah portion is that of a Nazir, someone who makes a Nazarite vow. And a Nazir is someone who cannot come into contact with certain types of impurity, especially that of a dead body. And they also forbid themselves from partaking of anything related to grapes, whether that's the seeds, the skins, the grapes themselves, even if they're dried into raisins, any kind of juice that's made from them, certainly wine. And therefore, the Haftorah discusses the Nazarite vow of Samson. His mother actually makes the vow for him by the command of the angel, or his parents make the vow for him, and they raise him as a Nazir, and then he has to, at the time of his bar mitzvah, choose to do it as an adult. And interestingly enough, when the angel tells Samson's mother that her child is going to be raised as a Nazir, he says that he's going to be raised as a Nazarite from the womb. And when the mother tells this over to her husband, she says he has to be a Nazir until the day of his death. Now, the angel didn't actually say that, because the truth is that Delilah, Samson's future wife, right, she is going to terminate his Nazariteness, because one of the things that, I don't know if that's a word, but it's okay, his Nazirus, as we would say in Hebrew, she terminates it by cutting off his hair, because another thing that a Nazarite can't do is have their hair cut. But the mother didn't know that, so there's sort of this mistake here where she adds the words until the day of his death. And we actually see something similar to this with the tree of knowledge of good and evil, where Chava, Eve, also adds, right? They're told not to eat of the tree. And so Chava tells the snake, we're not allowed to eat of it or touch it, right? She sort of adds to God's commandment. And this leads, obviously, to the downfall, where she does touch the tree. The snake pushes her into it. Oh, see, it's fine. You can touch it, so you can also eat it. And it doesn't work out very well. And I'm not sure if there's a connection here exactly, where here his mother adds the thing to the day of his death, and it doesn't work out well. So it is okay to add to the commandments, right? We add all the time. Judaism is full of things that are not mentioned in the Bible. They're additions that we made as fences around the Torah to protect ourselves from actually transgressing the biblical commandments. It's okay to add, but you have to recognize the difference between things that we add in order to protect ourselves from transgressing God's law and what the actual law is itself. Right? We shouldn't add and then say, oh, this is actually from God. Regardless, what does this idea of the Nazarite teach us, right? These are only certain specific individuals that take on this kind of vow, and it could be for 30 days. It could be like in Samson's situation for his whole life. But what does that have to do with us? The truth is that we all have to be a Nazarite to some degree, meaning that we have to separate ourselves from things that are mundane and common everyday life, and we should devote ourselves to spiritual growth and refinement. And this includes especially setting up fixed times for Torah study and for prayer and meditation, and really performing God's commandments in the best possible way, right? Seeking God in everything, even the mundane things in our life, trying to find the godliness and the spirituality even within that. And in truth, despite that being a very lofty goal, even that's not enough, because it's very easy to pursue those kinds of ideals, even for selfish reasons. And that's why the angel tells his mother that he needs to be a Nazarite to God, meaning that the test of whether we're a Nazarite to God is that if we're doing it for his sake and not just for our own glorification or self-refinement or trying to have some sort of status symbol as a spiritual person. But are we doing what Samson is commanded to do, right? To save Israel from the hand of the Philistines, meaning to seek out others who are really hurting, whether knowingly or unknowingly, under their servitude of materialism and physicality, and encourage them and guide them toward realizing their divine potential and fulfilling their divine mission. Shabbat Shalom.